What's up, guys? This is Showstopper, and today I'm going to be talking about the Superstar Shakeup and the top 5 trades that I would make if I were either Daniel Bryan or Kurt Angle. So the first trade I have is going to be Charlotte for Alexa Bliss. I think trading both heels from your respective brands is a great way to, a balanced trade. Alexa Bliss could go on to face Bayley for her championship and create a great good versus bad dynamic, which is really interesting to me. I think it could be interesting to other people. And then you have Charlotte, who needs a fresh goal. I think going after the SmackDown Women's Championship is a great way for her to earn more to her pedigree, and have her face Naomi. And I think, SmackDown has been not really seen as the better for the women's division. I think you could just even it out by having Charlotte, who performs very well. I think she could increase the level of performance for Naomi, and have Becky Lynch too. I think those two could put on an excellent match if given time, and I think it's just a really good trade in general. So the second trade I have is the New Day for Heath Slater and Rhino with Mojo Rawley. Now the reason I have this trade is because Raw doesn't really know what they're doing with the New Day. I feel like they're just there. And I think giving them a new purpose going after the SmackDown Championship will, make a new goal for them, and they could pursue that. And then you have SmackDown, who's sending Heath Slater and Rhino. I think they could put on a good match because they might, they could face a random Raw tag team and lose. And then you have Rhino. I think you turn Rhino heel and beat down Heath Slater and have a nice little match. I think Rhino may win. You could it could go either way with that. But you throw in Mojo Rawley, I think, because he adds value to the trade. I know not in a logic sense, but in a, hey, he just won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. It's got to count for something, right? Right. Just throw him in there. Make the trade somewhat legit. Mojo Rawley. No. Send him to SmackDown just because of Mojo Rawley. Oh, God. So the third trade I have is Sami Zayn for Kane. You send Sami Zayn for anyone, really. I just chose Kane because I think it would be interesting for this one aspect. But here's the thing. I don't care who you trade him for. Trade Sami Zayn to SmackDown. But here's why you trade him for Kane, in my opinion. So it's rumored that Roman Reigns is going to face Braun Strowman for the number one contender for Brock Lesnar's Universal title. Now, if you trade Kane to Raw, and it's also rumored that Braun is going to go over, so here's what you do. You have Kane interfere in that match, causing Roman to not lose clean, and still, keep Roman as like you have to have multiple people to beat him, because they want him to be strong, so strong, but not Braun strong. And you can have a nice little dynamic where you have to go through Kane because Kane's upset that you retired The Undertaker, or you disrespect him saying this is my yard now, which was a great segment. I loved it. It was pretty cool. And then you just have that nice little dynamic where Kane's like upset, and you have a nice little feud. It doesn't go on very long, and then Sami Zayn, Intercontinental Championship, WWE Championship. I don't really care. Just send him to SmackDown, please. So trade number 4 is Rusev for Luke Harper. I think this trade, you send Luke Harper, and I think he could be a good mid-carder. I think he could go after Kevin Owens. I think he's face right now, so he could go after Kevin Owens and that could be a really good match. I know he's got like something interesting, and I like to see him do well. I think he could do better on Raw. You can have him verse Braun Strowman if you want after the whole Lesnar thing, but I think versing Kevin Owens after the whole conclusion with Chris Jericho could be really cool. And then Rusev, I think he just needs SmackDown because he was with Jinder Mahal and really not going anywhere. He wasn't being used right. I think Rusev's that level where he could be a top guy. I think he could be in the main event picture if done right. And I think SmackDown, the land of opportunity, could give that opportunity to Rusev. And yeah, I think it'd just be a good trade for both of them. New places, you don't have Luke Harper with Bray Wyatt. And it just gives it time. And yeah, good trade. Just solid trade. So the final trade I have is a blockbuster trade in the sense where it's rumored that AJ Styles is going to go to Raw, and the only one I could think of that makes sense and you don't take him out of any storylines, it would, because otherwise I would have Seth Rollins in here, but he's feuding with, Samoa Joe. I think that could be a really good match, and I don't want to take away from that. And the person I'm thinking of doesn't really have anything right now. Doesn't, and could use SmackDown as like the platform. He could be the top guy. And I think it's Finn Balor. I think you trade Finn Balor for AJ Styles. On paper, it's a really good trade. Finn Balor, before he got injured, was the first ever Universal Champion, and AJ Styles is a former WWE champion. And you trade them, former major champions, and you trade them, and you have Finn Balor be the top guy on SmackDown, carry the brand. The Demon gimmick is going to go over. I'm always interested in seeing the Demon, and the promos that Finn Balor cuts are really good. And you have AJ Styles on Raw. Have him go up against Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns again, versus KO versus if he comes back, Chris Jericho. I don't know if he's still heel, probably not. And Samoa Joe is a really good match. They could do a really good WWE match. And for whatever reason, like if he stays on SmackDown, that'd be great. I want that to happen, but I don't think it will. And I think he deserves to be on Raw because he's really good. He's so good. And having him on Raw means that WWE has faith in him, and that's a good thing. And having Finn Balor on SmackDown, winning the championship from either Randy Orton or Bray Wyatt, having great matches. I think you could have a great match with any of the members on SmackDown. You have Randy Orton. I think he could perform really good with Finn. You also have Bray Wyatt. I think that could be a really good, really good match. Like the Eater of Worlds versus the Demon. I think, that's a good. I would tune in to see that. You also have The Miz, who's been on a fire roll as of late, and I think he may go to Raw. I've heard something like that. It makes sense because Daniel Bryan doesn't like him, but I hope he stays because he's so much better utilized on SmackDown because of the whole dynamic with Daniel Bryan. And then you have guys like Baron Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura, who you can have great matches with. I think Shinsuke versus Finn for the title is something that I would, as a fan, love to see. And yeah, this trade seems like I just want to see Finn Balor do good, and I want to see AJ Styles do good. And this way, you could have maybe AJ Styles form the club on his own, and then Finn Balor. He's said that he doesn't really want to do it because he did that in Junior Japan, and he wants to keep moving forward. So putting on SmackDown keeps him happy, and you have him go after the WWE Championship, and it's a win-win for both. I think AJ Styles, if anyone could beat Brock Lesnar for the title, I think it's him. I think he's good enough, and they'll have him go over, and then he'll lose to Roman, which I don't want to happen, but it is what it is. And then it's because the WrestleMania for next year, it's highly rumored to be Roman versus Brock, but you can have AJ win and then Roman win, and I think, I don't know, AJ Styles is too good just to keep down. I think he could, with all that talent on Raw, he could still be great. He could be a top contender. He's just so good. And yeah, that's my 5 traits that I would do for the Superstar Shakeup. If you liked what I had to say, if you liked the video, click like. If you agreed with my trades or disagreed with my trades, if you have any better trades, comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you later.